Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a very quick comparison here of the new HTC U Ultra phone, and I wanted to compare with a similar flagship in terms of the spec, etc. This is the Mate 9 phone from Huawei. So we're going to have a look at the build quality, the features, etc., and which one is more worth your money, because these ones are going to set you back quite a lot, like 600, 700 euros. So you need to make sure you make the right choice here. So let's start off with the build quality of both handsets. In terms of the build, they're both quite big handsets. If you put them both together here, you can see that they are roughly the same size. Probably the U Ultra is a little bit taller to accommodate the dual display at the top. But then again, I think the Mate 9 is a little bit wider. But they both feel absolutely well constructed handset. You know, they are a little bit different in terms of the glass here on the U Ultra. It does pick up a bit of fingerprints, but looks really mint when it's up against your head. And we do have the metal, which I personally do prefer on the Mate 9. You know, I think it looks premium, but doesn't attract the scuffs, etc. And I think the actual back of the Mate 9 does actually look a little bit nicer in terms of, you know, the uniformity here. I think that the sticky out camera lens on a phone is a bad idea overall, because it might lead to scratches, although the lens on the Mate 9 does stick out a little bit as well. But it does have the dual camera, which we don't get on the Ultra, unfortunately. I would like to have seen something like that. So if we just have a look at the displays as well here, so we're getting a marvellous LCD displays on both of them here, which are absolutely brilliant head-on. The only problem is, particularly with the Mate 9, is that when you tilt them to a side angle, you are going to suffer in terms of the colour reproduction and the contrast levels. But I'm not going to talk too much about that, because in terms of head-on, they are quite comparable here. So you can see, if we just get some icons up, you're not going to be too disappointed in terms of the sharpness, etc. Although I would like to see AMOLED display on both manufacturers' high-end phone, because the price is quite expensive, and you do want the best technology. And if Apple is switching to the OLED, then it must be the best technology. Now, both handsets come pretty fully stacked in terms of the specs, but there are noticeable issues in regards to what's missing. For example, the U Ultra doesn't come with any waterproofing. It doesn't come with any wireless charging. And these things are like pretty much standard for a high-end phone nowadays, particularly waterproofing. Again, if Apple's doing it, then every other manufacturer should do that. I don't think we have any waterproofing as well with the Mate 9 or wireless charging, but that is a little bit more excusable, because I think the metal interferes with wireless charging. So with the glass back on the HTC, you would expect that. But nevertheless, I think one area where the Mate 9 has a big advantage in terms of battery capacity, I've noticed that the Ultra 3000 mAh capacity is running down quite quickly actually. I've actually already charged it twice, and I've only had it for like a day, whereas you're getting a 4000 mAh battery in the Mate 9. You're also getting like a very efficient processor, Kirin 960. I think if you're looking for longevity, the Mate 9 is the way to go here. Really not sure of some of the decisions that HTC makes with its big phones, like flagship phones, but maybe where they think it's acceptable battery life. One area where the Ultra does have a bit of an advantage is in terms of the features here. Obviously, you get a dual display, which is very LG-esque. I do actually quite enjoy it here, how you can do different shortcuts and get reminders, etc. The software experience on the Ultra feels a lot better overall. You got your nice clean sense here with an app drawer. The EMUI on the Mate 9 has improved, but it still looks a little bit ugly in comparison to what you're getting with the Sense. However, they both do support some nice features in terms of the gestures, etc. Like you can make the screen smaller on the Mate 9 for one-handed use, etc. So have a look at the camera UIs here, nice and quick. So if we have a look at the camera on the Mate 9, you can see, I should put this back, you can do this blur effect here, which I really do enjoy actually. This is from like the P9 that I think they first did it on the P9, then they did it on the Honor 8. So if you take a shot here and then you want to see the shot, you can change the actual aperture, so you can refocus it, make it nice and blurry in the background. It's pretty awesome, really. But you're not going to get any of that on the HTC, unfortunately. because, as I said, we don't have a dual camera. But nevertheless, the UI seems to be pretty fluid here in terms of, giving you different options. So let's take a quick little shot here of the Mate 9. So let's go to the settings. So you can see you get to Pro mode. You still get the HTC Zo camera as well, which I think was first introduced with the M series. So with this, you can capture photo with 3 seconds of full HD video. I think it's like live photos, isn't it? So that is nice to see. You can see it takes a shot nice and fast here, and it should have taken a little video there to play back, but it doesn't seem to, I don't think, capture audio, which is weird. But nevertheless, I think you're going to have a decent time with the camera. It's just a shame, given the price, that we don't have some nice features like the monochrome, etc. on the Mate 9 on the HTC. So overall, if I were going to choose between these two phones, I'd solidly go for the Mate 9. Yes, I criticised it for having a poor display, but when you consider the battery, when you consider Kirin 960, when you consider dual camera, etc., it seems to bring more to the table than HTC. That's just my opinion, obviously. What do you think? Oh yeah, and there's a fingerprint scanner, obviously, on the Mate 9, which is a Huawei one, so it's brutally fast and efficient and no nonsense. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you prefer the Ultra? I don't think many people do, to be honest, reading the comments. So yeah, just a quick video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.